channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy, sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things. And today, my computer just decided to change colors, which made all of the lighting here change colors. It's fine. Today I'm going to give you the mid-year update for my book blanket. If you don't know, I have been doing book blankets for, this is year 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the 5th one I've made. The first 2 were terrible. This is the 2nd year. And then years 3 and 4 were beautiful. And then this one's turning out really nice. You can watch all of the previous videos. There's a playlist for them. I will have it in places and you'll be able to watch it. So I really enjoy making book blankets, although I've talked about this before. I don't know that I'm going to be making a book blanket again next year. I might be doing a book snake or something along those lines. I have to figure that out. I need to plan those things. I might even film me planning those things because it's probably good content. I don't know, but I gotta think about that stuff. But that's not what this video is about today. This video today is about my 2026 book blanket. We are halfway through. Here she is. But we are halfway through. Hopefully editing me will show you what she looks like while I tell you the stats. But before we get into that, I want to preface with the book blanket setup for all of this. There is a video for that. So you can see the video where I planned all of this and got it ready and whatever. I have a video for it. If you think you have a question about this book blanket, I probably answered it in the original video about it. So go check that out. I will try to link the pattern that I'm using down below. But if I haven't in this, then I will in the other one. So, you know, take your pick. Let's go ahead and talk about the stats for the book blanket. The blocks themselves, the regular blocks, regular blocks, take me 4 minutes to make. The triangles take me about 2 minutes to make, and the triangles are along the edges there. I have a total of 129 pieces, which is 109 blocks and 21 triangles. The time that it takes me to make the blocks, or has taken me to make all of the blocks, is 7 hours and 16 minutes, and the time that it has taken me to make all the triangles is 42 minutes. Total time working then on the pieces is 7 hours and 58 minutes, and the sewing takes me 2.5 minutes per piece. Which means I've spent a total of 5 hours and 22 minutes sewing, give or take. I don't time everything specifically anymore, so that's just kind of an estimation based on me timing a couple of pieces. So some probably took a little less time, some probably took a little more time. It is what it is. The entire time that I've been working on this, though, is 13 hours and 20 minutes, which halfway through is not that bad. I have had some projects that have taken me longer and some projects that haven't. Planning for all of this has been a pain in my ass because I didn't want the colors to touch. I have accepted that they're going to touch because I read too much fantasy for that to work out. The double genres has helped a little bit with that and added a little bit of variety. I do wish I had started that earlier on in the book blanket process. And by the double genres, I mean there are some where instead of the white center to indicate the end of the month, I put, like, for fantasy romance, we have the romance color in the center and then fantasy on the outside. I think that that's really lovely and really fun, and I'm glad that I did that. It's also something I'm thinking about for future book blanket. What would that look like in future? Like, would I do this project again? Would I do the double genres from the beginning? Would that change the way that I log things in my tracking? I don't know. These are the things I have to think about. I don't know. These are the things I gotta think about. So when I'm thinking about making a new tracker for next year, which is something I go ahead and start working on usually around now, I deeply consider things like my book blanket because it's important to me that I'm able to do it in such a way that it's easy for me to track, but also easy for me to use, and it makes sense. So these are the things I'm thinking about. Because I'm now a mom, I am reading inherently less. I'm a little worried that I will end up with a big chunk of white at the end, where it will just look ridiculous. So I'm conflicted on that. I don't know. it'll be fine either way. I will say the way that the pattern works is that some of the days and the like the last week, I think, of December is more just border pieces and then the actual border. So I think that it won't be the end of the world if that's what happens. But I am a little like, oh no, what have I done? I've made a mistake. So we'll see how that works out, but overall, the entire process has been a lot of fun. It is my lowest involved book blanket. The pieces just genuinely don't take as long as some of the others. I think the one that I made 2 years ago, the triangles, was pretty low stakes to do, because I could just do rows in a triangle, like in the star shape, and that was pretty low stakes, and I liked that. But I think that how do I word this? I think that one got a little tedious and big. The problem with that was that I was like chugging around this like huge thing, whereas like we're going to go on a trip on the 18th of July, and it's going to be like a 2-hour car ride one way. And if the baby's asleep, then I'm gonna need something to do that's not just reading. So I may just bring a couple of the skeins of like fantasy and nonfiction, because those are the genres I'm reading the most, or all of the skeins, because they're not very big pieces. They are not very big skeins. They don't take a very long time. You know, I can travel with these things and it doesn't feel tedious. I can just make a bunch of blocks. The other thing that I did that has been very helpful with this is that I went ahead and printed out the graph of the pattern here, which has helped me with planning the pieces. Now, I did obviously still have, like, in March where I only read 6 books and 5 of them were fantasy. Obviously, those are going to touch. So things get a little funky here and there. And I try not to plan until, like, I know everything is where it needs to be. Then I can go from there, but yeah, it's tricky. The other thing, I have not spent any more money on this. I am going to order yarn sometime this week, because I need more fantasy, more nonfiction, but I have not needed to order more yarn, which is cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's nice. It's manageable to not need to order more yarn. So I think that the whole project has been really nice. I think I would do this project again, frankly. The only thing, again, is the planning is a bitch, because it's on the bias, and so like it's hard to remember what pieces are going to be touching what. That's been kind of horrible. I think if I were going to do a temperature blanket, this would be the pattern I would use. I think it would be a lot of fun. When I talk about next year's plans and blankets, I just want to loosely and quickly like give you some things I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about a book Snake, which could be fun, because at that point my child would be 1, almost 2, and it is something that he could then have, you know, instead of me making yet another fucking blanket that just goes somewhere weird, like on the wall. I'm running out of walls. This one's not going to go on the walls. And then I have seen temperature blankets where it is a big block per month, and you just like work your way out. That's interesting to me. That's interesting to me for 2 reasons. One, it's still a bigger piece, so it's not like a bunch of small pieces, but also it is 12 pieces that you then put together. And I think that's more manageable than like one big piece, but also less tedious than a bunch of small pieces I have to sew together, if that makes sense. Those are the things I'm thinking about when it comes to next year, but we will see when I film that video, when I plan those things. We'll talk about it then. But yeah, if you've ever thought about making a book blanket, or you watched my videos and thought, I don't know where to start with those things, a couple of my videos do go really in depth about planning this and like my tips and tricks and what I think you should be doing, having done this for so many years. I've seen a lot of people doing this on TikTok and those kinds of things, and not crediting me, which is crazy, because as far as I know, I'm the first one to do it. So I'm just kidding. I don't care. I don't care. But I do think it's interesting the way that like telephone works in the media sphere. But if you see somebody doing those things, you might want to send them my way just to say, hey, by the way, this person started doing them first. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care, but it would be cool. Unless I'm wrong and I'm absolutely not the first person, and then I get in some kind of drama about from book talk and crochet talk, and I don't want to be in that. Don't put me in that. Don't do that. But yeah, I do these every year. I thought I was going to take a break next year, but probably not. I really like doing them. It's a fun way for me to track my reading. I think it's just a fun, nice little thing to do. But that's it. I'm gonna go. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share. If you have any questions about this concept, this process, or if you want to tell me some of your ideas or some ways that you want to track your book reading and that kind of thing, let me know in the comments down below. I think that it's really fun to have a creative outlet that isn't stats based. That isn't just like me reading to you my stats. It's a way of physically showing you my reading without owning all of the physical books. I think it's fun. But yeah, if you have any questions or if you have any comments or statements or things about it, let me know in the comments down below. I love to hear about it and talk about these things with you guys. But that's it. I post videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time every single week, except for the first full week of the month, because taking breaks is really important. So I'll see you guys later on this week for the vlog. I hope that you guys are having a beautiful and wonderful day. Don't forget to take your meds, drink your water. I have to take my meds, and do something today to take care of yourselves. Like start up a new art project. You know, it's good for the soul. All right, I'm gonna go. Talk to you later. Okay, thanks, bye.